This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
You all ready for this?
This is a sham.
No. Y'all, just stop.
Get real.
Welcome to DBL. I'm Erica in for Tori.
Yes.
Hey, yes.
What's up? You're with the boys today.
I am. Let's go, boys.
Yeah, let's do it.
Dun, dun,
Oh, I got it. I was like, was she going for that?
Okay.
I like it. I like it.
So listen up.
Twain.
There's a controversy that's been brewing all week. It all began with this Instagram video. Bud Light partnered with a trans influencer named Dylan Mulvaney to promote its March Madness contest. Well, other brands like Nike also partnered with Dylan, but lots of people are very upset by these partnerships, especially some Bud Light drinkers. Now, a quick warning, what you're about to see does include gunfire. In protest, Kid Rock posted this video showing him shooting cases of Bud Light with an assault-style rifle. Country singer Travis Tritt also tweeted that he'll be deleting all Anheuser-Busch products from his tour rider. When asked about the partnership, Anheuser-Busch said it works with hundreds of influencers to connect with audiences across various demographics. So DBL Nation, we want to know what you think. Was this partnership a good idea or not?
Yeah. Real quickly, I think it's we should point out that a rider means like what you get in your dressing room before a show. I didn't know what that was. I thought that was the name of his tour, and obviously you guys know what a rider is.
Oh, yeah.
It is shocking that you don't know what a rider is.
I've never heard of it.
I would have assumed that going on appearances and stuff, people would ask you.
Absolutely.
Like, oh, what do you want in your dressing room? What do you want? Yeah.
And obviously my answer is a Dylan Mulvaney Bud Light
Yes,
can. No.
exactly.
So let's get into it. Let's get into it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So listen, I think this is a little silly, right? I think this is not it's a partnership, right? And people, when they do send me stuff, me and my wife do posts and advertise for companies and stuff, they make you a particular box or brand or whatever because you're the one promoting it. It's one of one, right? They just send it to you and it's got me and my wife inside the box or whatever because it's a promotional brand to endorse the product. I don't know how many people are truly upset and are going to stop drinking Bud Light because of this. I think we're kind of showing the extreme end of it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Am I crazy, or do you think this is going to bring down sales at Anheuser-Busch?
I don't think you're crazy. I think the extreme end is the end that gets the attention. So yes, I don't think most Bud Light drinkers even knew that this existed because it wasn't for them. And Eric, I wanted to say you mispronounced the word connect because you should have said sell them stuff. Yeah. Okay. They're not trying to connect with their audience. They're trying to sell them stuff. And if they'd like to sell black women between the age demos of 38 to 56, they'd reach out to Erica. If they wanted to sell to couples that are celebrities that have kids that are a certain age, they reach out to you and Jordan because you talk to that audience more than a general ad campaign might do, more than Terry Bradshaw might talk to your audience or Terry Bradshaw might talk to your audience. You guys talked, it's a more specific way to get to market your product, which is where we are in 2023. Yeah. And it's just so interesting. And Eric, I want to get your thoughts on this. We live in the age of, especially during campaign season, if somebody is labeled a socialist as a candidate, they're done. But when we say capitalism is the only game in town, when a company is exploring capitalism to its utmost, finding out the surgical way to get to their audience, they're also lambasted. So how should Bud Light proceed? Should they be capitalistic but also keep your feelings in mind? I thought you were the party of forget your feelings. So I don't understand how they're supposed to proceed because it seems like we're talking out of both sides of the mouth.
And if they don't, Erica, they're going to also get in trouble, right? Why don't you promote the product with this? Why are you excluding this group,
right.
XYZ, well, whatever it may be?
I think at the end of the day, beer is literally like the most basic liquor or alcohol out there. So it just by definition is for everyone. I think people might be very, very shocked about who might drink their favorite spirit because it's bound to be a lot more people who don't look like you. I'm actually not mad at people who show their true colors and their bigotry and their ignorance because it is exhausting trying to figure out if someone is secretly racist or secretly homophobic and where their intentions lie. I would rather, like, I have a lot of stuff to do. Y'all have a lot of stuff to do. I would rather know who the devil is as opposed to assume that there's someone that they're not.
Yeah. You always say that, and I think about that. I think about that sometimes. Like, I'd rather you show me your true colors.
Yeah.
In any instance, right? And it kind of is refreshing.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm going to, because, you know, as a comic, before it was popular to say politically, I've always tried to look at both sides because that's where your jokes have to come from. I can't have a side. Otherwise, I'm not a good comic. And I was looking at the people that are getting upset about issues like this, whether it was the Kaepernick with the Nike, and, you know, for as much as I disagree with them, and just try and follow along their principles of logic as it comes to capitalism and making money, it seems like it doesn't make sense. But I wonder if emotionally these people just feel like everything in the world is changing and they feel like they're being left behind. Because it seems like the entire world that they once knew and once controlled, for the most part. And their senators looked just like their dads, and, you know, the guy on TV, the leading man, looked a certain way, and now it doesn't. Now there's a black Ariel, and now there's for all these things where we're busy, you know, maybe when you've put all those things aside, you've already had your kids, and now you're just looking at the rest of your life. Maybe they feel like the world has passed them by. I don't agree with it, but that's the only logic as to what, because it's not that they care because you can't care about a marketing campaign. It's impossible to care about that.
Right, and I understand what you're saying. I think that when we start talking about especially race or sexuality, it becomes a very, no pun intended, black or white issue.
Right.
But I think that people are feeling this in their everyday lives regardless of race, creed, or color. We have more people on this planet than we ever had before. You hear it a lot when there are social media influencers and then they get picked up for jobs that generally it would take 20, 30 years in a career in order to do that. It's like, why has this landscape changed? And the truth is the landscape has changed everywhere. You either have to be fluid, which is something that I learned very early on in my career and in my life, that nothing lasts forever. And so you either have to ebb and flow with that change or you resist it. And people who resist it are actively speaking out because they have a platform in which to do so. Now, do I agree with it? No. Do I think it's detrimental? Yes, because in your very own households, in your very own community, those are the people that you might love, who might have had a tremendous amount of respect for you, who no longer can because you're diminishing who they are as a person. But I'm never shocked by these outcries and AK-47s or whatever automatic weapons against Bud Light cans, because I understand that this is a part of the resistance. It's saying, I don't need to change. Society needs to conform.
Right, and just to put a button on that, Erica, what you started out talking about, you were describing me when she was talking about influencers that are now taking jobs that used to take 20, 30 years. Trust me, as somebody as a comic that slugged it out in nightclubs, people booing and just craziness in the mid-aughts, to sit there and watch a 19-year-old YouTuber get a headlining spot in a club that it took me 4.5 years to get into, you think I didn't feel some kind of way about that? You do watch, and as an older guy, I'm like, the audience is gonna recognize, and I didn't realize till way late that you gotta be on YouTube, you have to be on social media, because I just wanted to perform live. I thought that was gonna be enough, and there was anger within me, so maybe that's kind of what they're feeling.
No, it's you gotta ebb and flow. What was this partnership between Bud Light and a trans influencer a good idea? DBL Nation says 55%, yes, it was a good idea. Coming up on DBL, our interview with Oscar winner and stand-up comedian Monique. She's telling us all about her new Netflix special, and a woman gets mocked for her response to a stranger walking towards her in a parking lot. We're talking about it next.
DBL, this show is amazing.
There's a lot going on down here.
I would have been part of the Mile High Club.
Yeah.
So on point.
But I'm gonna have a conversation about what's happening now.
Okay, we are on. Jerry, does my hair need to be brushed?
I literally
Yeah, I
did.
feel
How
like
did you
it
know?
looks like I have a bowl cut.
I literally was thinking the same.
I got a haircut, but I put my wave cap on. Full disclosure.
Look at how much attention Al needs between breaks.
Well, I mean,
this is every day with him.
But you know what, Jeff?
That's
Yes, please. Is my mic
Yeah,
on?
let me
Here's the bad thing about what Jeff said. When I first started the show in 2017, you know, they come in and just touch you up. But as you get older, next thing you know, there's 3 people around you, like hurrying and yelling at each other.
That's not a good look. That's not a good look.
Just shows
when you
you
have the
getting
whole
a
makeup
party.
team surrounding you, it's not a great look.
Never good. Yeah, it's not that's not like when you're like really great looking. They're like, I don't know what we can moisturize you, but you're good now. It's like you need to come in early, leave late. But yeah, it's interesting. Where we are with the advertising.
But that's kind of how you advertise now. Like talk about like things shifting, right? You put all your money into commercial or magazines, right? So magazines, newspapers have kind of gone away. They're still around, but now that money for that marketing is going into influencers, right? So you want to get just like a newspaper. Everybody reads a newspaper, right? So you got to give your advertisement to everybody, right? To get it across the demo that you want. I was just curious, and we kind of said, Al, too, if this was like a Bud Light seltzer, not a, there's Budweiser, Bud Light, still same company, still Anheuser-Busch, would there be an uproar?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it would be looked at as like that's for the new generation, that's for the kids.
Right.
But there's like, people have memories of their grandfather drinking Bud Light in the garage, and I feel like they feel like Bud Light is trampling on that.
It's
They
crazy.
are not, but I don't know how else you're supposed to market to people.
I know.
If you've ever had a paid promotional ad, you need to narrow down that demo. You
Yeah,
know?
and it's really, just having like, it's just one.
Welcome back. A woman on TikTok has gone viral and it sparked a really interesting conversation. Take a look.
I'm literally shaking right now because I just had a man approach me in a parking lot. So this guy, I'm alone with my son, by myself, a woman, and a male approached me in a parking lot. He's, "Excuse me, miss," and I don't know why in the hell he was approaching me or what he was trying to do. And before he was probably 30 feet from me when he said, "Excuse me, ma'am." And I turned around and I literally yelled at him and I said, "Do not approach me." No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. Ever. No male should ever approach a woman in a parking lot. And if a male does approach you, you need to turn around and use the strongest voice that you can possibly use with them.
So what do you think? Was this woman being smart or did she overreact? So obviously, y'all are both dudes on the panel.
Yes.
Have you ever approached a woman in a parking lot to start with?
I don't think so. The parking lot wasn't even though like young Al going to nightclubs, like there was a thing at the club let out for a black nightclub. I don't know how it is for my white brothers and sisters.
All of them let out.
Yeah, but no, I know. Black people, but like that was almost like some guys would leave the club early to get the jump on the good place to sit on their hood and wait for people to leave the nightclub. So yeah, I guess maybe, but I was terrible at that. I'm not a good cold caller. I wouldn't do that. Is she overreacting a little bit? I think so, but I would say this. If you feel like you're in danger, it's better to overreact than underreact. So I get it. I think that was a little dramatic, but whatever. As long as you're still here, I guess it's okay. I don't know about screaming in the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, and I want to hear a woman's point of view too, because I almost don't know what to do in any situation anymore. You know what I mean?
Like
30 feet away, and you drop your keys, or you're with your kid, and you drop a blanket or something, or a pacifier. "Excuse me, ma'am, I'm a dad," and I get screamed at. It's like, whoa. It's like that's 30 feet away. I get the understanding of being scared, a woman in a parking lot. I get that concept. But during the day, 30 feet away, I don't know. You tell me, as a woman, would you be scared?
So I have been approached in a parking lot before. It was outside of a nightclub. I was heading to my cab at that time, and a guy approached me, and my first thought was to tell him not to approach me, but I didn't. And he grabbed my wrist, and he made it seem like we were like gonna have a conversation, or he was gonna get my number or something. And when I went to get my wrist back, he was resisting. He was holding on tighter. And so then at that point, like there's something in me that goes like, all of a sudden, I just start cursing. Like I'm just very much like I make myself bigger, and like I made such a scene that other people turned around. But ever since then, I am very aware of who is around me at all times. And I have said someone's like, hey, I'm like, okay, you can stop right there. Like, you don't need to get any closer. I feel like it's easier now to do because we've gone through COVID to be like, okay, right there, that's cool, what's up?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people are dealing with trauma, and they would rather hurt someone's feelings than be hurt themselves.
I will say, as a man, when I do get approached, where sometimes like they'll try and do the empty gas can. My car's down the street, and I get $20, and I'll see them come in with the fake gas can, and I'll just be like, not interested, and I'll say it directly.
Yeah.
And just kind of keep it moving. I'm not yelling, but I do get that you don't want somebody to get
close
on you, especially when like cars can distract from like maybe somebody
anything can happen.
So I get it. I think she was a little bit overreacting, but I'd rather somebody overreact and still be here to tell the story.
Exactly. Well, we'll be right back.
This clip on Twitter claims to show President Joe Biden admitting to coordinating the indictment against President Trump.
We just have to demonstrate that he will not take power if he does run, making sure he, under legitimate efforts of our Constitution, does not become the next president again.
But is that what's really going on here? Let's verify. Did Biden say his administration is using the indictment to ensure Trump does not become the next president? Our sources are a search using video and photo forensics tools Revi and Invid, and video from a November 9th, 2022 press conference with Biden. Using Revi and Invid, we tracked that video clip to a press conference held by Biden on November 9th, the day after the midterm elections.
Well, we had an election yesterday.
During the event, Biden was asked what reassurances he gave world leaders who had concerns about Trump returning to office. He responded with the same answer seen in the viral clip. The press conference took place 6 days before Trump announced he was running for president and nearly 6 months before he was indicted by a Manhattan grand jury. So it could not have been in response to Trump being indicted. So no, Biden did not say his administration is using the indictment to ensure Trump does not become the next president. The White House has repeatedly declined to comment about Trump's indictment. With you on Verify, I'm Brandon Lewis.
Tonight, when y'all walk away from me, y'all will understand who I am. Y'all gonna say, oh, I get it now. This gonna be something special.
Welcome back. In her first ever Netflix comedy special, Monique does not hold back. She's sharing stories she thought she would take to her grave so we can understand exactly who she is. Earlier, she told us more about her special and if she's afraid to get canceled. Check it out.
Monique joins us live. Welcome.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Hey.
So good to have you here. Let's jump right in. Your special was released yesterday. It's called My Name is Monique. What have your emotions been like since that release?
I would just have to say proud. I would have to say that, for my family and I, we all watched it last night, and we watched it with our kids, with the twins, who are 17 years old. And it was just a moment that we all shared, and we were all just really, really proud.
Okay, well, Auntie, why did you decide this special was going to be personal stories that shaped you?
It was a special. And when you're doing something special, you have to make it special to you. So when my husband and I began to write this, it had to be personal. And as I said in the trailer, I wasn't worried about being funny. I've already been proven funny, and I say that humbly. But for this, I had something to say. And it was special So that's why I always tell people, you don't ever have to read about me, baby. You ain't never got to listen to the rags about me, because I'm going to tell you about me. So this one here was, my name is Monique, baby. Let me tell you all about me.
I love it. I mean, it's, you know, I'm listening to you talk, Monique, and I do stand up, and I hosted for you and George Wilborn years ago at the old West Palm Beach Improv. So it's good to see you back. It's funny how life intersects, huh?
Yes, baby. Look at you.
Well, you know, you said that you've been proven funny, and that's without a doubt. You've been doing stand-up for a minute, so I have to ask you, what are your thoughts on cancel culture? I'm going to ask this because it's in the prompter, but I think I know the answer. Are you afraid of getting canceled, Monique?
Well, if you already know the answer, remember your mom would say, don't ask questions that you know the answer to. No, because it's a new throw word. It's a word that we've just gravitated to, and now it's become something that we just throw out there. I never worried about that, because it was that community that said, Mo, we right here. Mo, we go back with you to Columbia, South Carolina as Secrets. Mo, we go back with you to All Jokes Aside in Chicago. So I never worried about that, because I knew what I was saying. Eventually, the babies will come around. Me and my husband knew. My husband said, Mama, if you keep talking, eventually they're going to hear it. It only goes away if you stop talking about it. So I never worried about the baby saying, oh, we're going to cancel and she gone away. No.
All jokes aside, in Chicago, that was the first comedy club I ever went to. That was just such a throwback. Like, oh my gosh, my love of comedy started there. Yes.
Monique, I wish we could have you all day. You have so much to say, but luckily people can tune into your special. So thank you for joining us on DBL. To our viewers, you can watch My Name is Monique on Netflix. Thank you again, Monique. We'll be right back. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you, sweetnesses.
Yes. What's up, guys? The Masters Golf Tournament is this week, so Al and I decided to get out, dust off the old wrenches, play a little golf, and test you about some trivia knowledge. Swing away, Al. Boom!
In most sports, when you win, you get a trophy, a cup. Super cool. Congrats, everybody. But in golf, it's a little bit special because you get that green jacket.
So only 54 players have been given the honor of wearing the green jacket, but could you guess who the first one was? Is it A, Ben Hogan, B, Gene Sarazen, or C, Sam Snead?
The answer is C. In 1949, Sam Snead was the first guy to rock that green jacket.
The good news here is that it's not just all in your head. The congestion, the sniffles, the aches that come with the springtime and seem like they're getting worse. According to nationwide search trends, DC, Maryland, and Virginia lead the country in Googling allergies. So yes, springtime might come every single year, but this one might feel a little different.
We turn to these sources to verify why. Remember our mild winter? Nice while it lasted, but now, yes, typical allergy offenders like tree pollen are coming in stronger and sticking around longer. The U.S. Army Centralized Allergen Extract Laboratory says this year, tree pollen numbers spiked at the beginning of February, uncommonly early. This graph from nonprofit research institute Climate Central shows over the past few decades, a warmer planet and longer growing season have lengthened allergy season. In D.C., 20 more days of symptoms than you'd have experienced in 1970. And this study, cited by the USDA, finds the same climate factors are also boosting pollen numbers in North America. So even though we're just a few weeks into spring, you might not have started your usual over-the-counter regimen soon enough, because nurse practitioner Leslie Peterson says yes, it does take a while for most allergy medication to start working.
The best course of action is to begin taking your allergy medication 2 to 4 weeks before your allergen season.
And longtime sufferers, yes, your usual over-the-counter medication might just not be cutting it anymore. Research and expertise is divided on whether this is because we can develop a tolerance or if it's because our allergies themselves can just fluctuate and get worse over time. Regardless, it could be good to try something new.
But don't get discouraged. There's lots of antihistamines out there.
Talk to a physician or a pharmacist if you have questions on the best treatments to find relief and prevent long-term issues.
With your Verify, I'm Abby Larico.
Now, many U.S. presidents have been known to hit the links every now and then.
So this question is going to be for Tori. Can you guess the only POTUS to be a member of Augusta National? Is it A, Dwight D. Eisenhower, B, Donald Trump, or C, John F. Kennedy?
The answer is A, Dwight D. Eisenhower, the only president that was known to be a club member.
Welcome back. We've got some great deals on amazing products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today? Let me know. Give me the sales.
Hey, Tori, and hi, DBL Nation. I'm back with some incredible deals, and as ever, you're going to absolutely love them. Check this out. First up today, we've got the Oba 5-in-1 Ultimate Beauty Kit.
What?
So this deal includes one base with 5 different attachments. So normally this is $120.
Don't love.
We've got it for $24.99.
Love.
So that's saving 79%. But now what about this, Tori?
Ooh,
this
comfy.
is the Cloth and Gable reversible down alternative comforter set.
Yum.
So this deal includes 1 comforter and 2 shams, but only 1 sham for the twin size.
Got it.
Now normally it's $100 to $130, but we've got it for $29.99 to $39.99, which is saving 70%. Now check out this. We love skincare. This is a must-have. It's Luminous Las Vegas 2-in-1 Las Vegas non-surgical instant face lift.
What?
So this deal includes 2 treatment syringes to help tighten your skin without the surgery. Normally, this is $349, Tori, but we've got it for $39.99.
What?
That's saving 89%. Now, our last product is the Cuisinart Stack 5 multi-purpose indoor grill.
Whoa.
So this deal includes 1 multi-purpose grill that cooks in 6 different ways, which replaces the need for multiple cooking appliances. So normally it's $130. We've got it for $89.99, and that's saving 31%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag these amazing deals at the lowest prices, or you can even scan that QR code. It's right on screen, and it will take you directly to the products that Steph is showing you on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph, for these products.
Sweet deals, yes. Before we go, we have some super sweet video for you. Co-workers get together to throw this expecting grandpa a grandpa shower. They had all sorts of gifts for him to celebrate his soon-to-be grandpa status. Oh my Lanta.
I love this.
I got to go to another party?
Oh, come on. So cute.
Come on, that's a dad goals right
I'm
there.
kidding. I'm kidding.
I
That's
love it,
sweet.
man. Shout out to him.
Kinda.